This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Of course, that's next week, but this weekend, there's something pretty interesting happening on Dynamite. It's a Saturday night Dynamite, and it's live, right, Jim?
Yeah. We're going to be live Saturday night on TNT, and of course, headlined by. It's a good card. It really is a good card, but the focal point of the card is Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Title against Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and that's been talked about for several weeks. I kind of like that, where we got a little build and build some anticipation. I think that's good booking. So it'll be a good show. And the fact that it's live is a joy to me because, as has been said, nothing can go wrong because it's live type thing. So that match should really be extraordinary. And I'm looking forward to it a great deal. So Saturday night's the night, folks. We moved around because of the NBA playoffs. Man, I watched, I got so wrapped up and I started really liking the playoffs, even though it's kind of screwed up our broadcast schedule. But man, there's been some good stuff on NBA playoffs this season, and I was excited about Trae Young, kid Norman, my town, and I saw him play in high school. I saw him play in college at OU. He's only there 1 year, but he's kind of the sentimental favorite to me. He's kind of undersized, but he talks all the damn. He talks some shit, man. He's funny. He's a little bulldog. So anyway, life has been good, Conrad. It's all good. And I'm glad everybody's podcast is doing well. You and I were speaking before we started recording that, your creations dominate the top 10 podcast rankings. And I'm glad to be a part of that time to time. So it's all good. It's good for our team. It's a team win, and you've got a good team together, and I'm glad hopefully everybody's having fun doing what I do, what you do. I got my new shirt on, Conrad.
I see that Slobber Knocker AF over at shopaew.com.
That's right.
And yeah, man, you're right. There's a lot going on with the podcast this week. Eric and I did a watch along of Nitro from July 1st, 1996, the go home show for Bash at the Beach, where Hulk Hogan would turn heel. And then Jeff Jarrett and I broke down the very first TNA show that happened here in Huntsville, believe it or not. Of course, Tony Schiavone and I are still having fun talking about all things Jim Crockett in 1986. And that includes the build to the Great American Bash. I think next week is sort of the go home edition for that. Bruce and I plan to get together and talk a little bit about Vengeance 06 and what an interesting time in wrestling that was. Of course, we're going to do Undertaker's 1999, King of the Ring 01. Lots of fun stuff coming there. I don't know that you've had a chance to catch Arn yet, but we've sort of hit the reset button on that, Jim.
Yeah.
We're taking it week by week, day by day through his journey through the territory system. So as he's working for the Fullers or the Armstrongs or Mr. Watts or the Crockett's, we're getting a week to week accounting of what was going on in the life of a territory wrestler back then. And it's been really fun.
Yeah, it fits Arn better. I think it's of course he can tell his own story. It's just a matter like you always do. Your team provides great information, and you are a good point guard. You may be the largest point guard in the history of not only the NBA. Conrad, can you imagine me and you and our fat asses in basketball attire?
We would be losing a lot of games.
Yeah, and humility. Yeah, whatever.
A lot of games.
Oh yeah, baby. So it's all good. And old Conrad's got a birthday coming up soon.
Yeah.
Number 40. Oh boy.
This is my last broadcast with you before I'm a 40-year-old. How about that?
Wow. I'm moved. I'm moved, Connie. So it's good though. So happy early birthday. I know you're going to enjoy it, and just wish I had the schedule compatibility to join you, but nonetheless, we'll make up for it. I promise you at some point in time, because I know we're going to spend some time together in Chicago. Is that still on?
That's still on. It's going to be all out weekend. It's a Top Guy event for all of our big supporters over at adfreeshows.com. Arn Anderson's going to be there. Tony Schiavone's going to be there. Jim Ross is going to be there. And of course, Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett will be there. The only way to take part in these sort of get-togethers is to join us over at adfreeshows.com, where you not only get all of our shows early and ad-free, but you get bonus content that you can't get anywhere else. And to my surprise, the gang has put together 40 new pieces of content that will drop on June 27th, which is my 40th birthday. So 40 on 40 is what they're calling it. Sort of our version of the 30 for 30. 40 for 40. Here, 40 new pieces of content on the same day, not the same month, not the same week, the same day, June 27th. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. And by the way, people seem to be really digging your old radio shows. We dug those up with our 6-man tag team partner on that venture, Mr. Dennis Brent.
Right.
Now we've been able to play back some of those historical tapes that people thought were long gone.
Yeah. I was really glad that you were able to secure all of those. And I'm especially glad that Dennis was able to find everything. And, he's very meticulous. Dennis is suffering from MS, multiple sclerosis. So he's a little bit limited with what he can do and what he can't do. But he's a great friend and he's a wonderful fan. And I'm surprised that the buddies from WWE and A&E haven't tracked him down for memorabilia.
Right.
He's got some good shit, man. Really good stuff. That's what we used to say to our local pot dealer. Oh, he's got some good shit, man. So it's all good. It's we're busier than fruit merchants. Some people say, what does that mean, JR? What does busier than a fruit merchant mean? Well, here's the theory, Conrad, in a short form. The fruit merchants would park their trucks at an intersection or some busy highway area, and they'd put their tomatoes and watermelons and all these things in their big baskets. So they would sit there and people would stop by and buy their fresh stuff. Well, when the business slowed down or that block or that location wasn't working, they'd move to another location. That's why I say, my grandpa say, he's busier than a fruit merchant, because you gotta keep your fruit and your vegetables fresh, and he can't. They're not going to do good just sitting there.
Right.
So busier than a fruit merchant is what you've been, what I've been, but I've been off work for a while, because of the taping schedule. So anyway, it's all good, man. I love what I'm doing. Love doing this, and this is going to be. I'll look forward to this show for quite some time.